Welcome to my channel Bookish English. Let me ask you something. Can you really use English, or are you just learning it? In the next few minutes, you will test your real ability, not your memory, not your notes, but your true skill. You might be stronger than you think, or you might discover something surprising. Stay till the end, because this moment can change how you learn forever. Chapter 1: The Truth. There is something I want to say to you, and I want you to listen carefully, not with fear, but with honesty. You've been learning English for a long time, maybe months, maybe even years, and yet when the moment comes to speak, your mind becomes quiet, your heart beats faster, and you feel unsure about yourself. You understand some words, you recognize sentences, but when it is your turn to speak, something inside you stops you, and you start thinking, maybe I am not good enough, maybe I need more grammar, maybe I need more vocabulary, maybe I am just not ready yet. But let me tell you something very clearly. The problem is not your effort, the problem is not your intelligence, and the problem is definitely not your ability to learn. The real problem is that you have never truly seen where you stand. Most learners walk in the dark. They study, they watch videos, they read books, but they never stop and ask themselves one simple question. What can I actually do in English right now? Not what I studied yesterday, not what I will learn tomorrow, but what I can do today, in this moment. And because this question is never answered, confusion begins to grow. You start comparing yourself with others. You see someone speaking better than you, and you feel behind. You see someone struggling more than you, and you feel a little better, but still unsure. Your progress feels unclear, like you are moving but you do not know in which direction. And this is where everything changes, because today is not about learning more. Today is not about adding new words or new rules to your mind. Today is about discovery. Today is about clarity. Today is about looking at your English, not as a student who is always trying to improve, but as a person who is ready to see the truth. Because once you see the truth, everything becomes easier. You stop guessing. You stop doubting. You start understanding yourself. This test that you are about to experience is simple, but do not underestimate it. Simple things often show the deepest truths. This test will not try to trick you. It will not use difficult words to confuse you. Instead, it will quietly show you what your brain does when it meets English. Does your mind respond quickly, or does it pause? Do you feel confident, or do you feel pressure? Do you understand meaning, or do you search for translation? These small reactions will tell you everything you need to know. And here is something very important that most learners never realize. People do not fail because they are weak. They fail because they never test themselves honestly. They stay in a comfortable place where they feel like they are learning, but they are not really challenging their ability. They keep collecting knowledge, but they never check if that knowledge is alive inside them. And without this check, without this moment of truth, progress becomes slow and unclear. So I want you to make a small decision right now. Do not judge yourself during this journey. Do not say, this is too easy, or this is too hard. Just observe. Just notice. Just be present. Because this is not a test where you pass or fail. This is a mirror. It is showing you where you are, so you can clearly see where you need to go next. You are not alone in this feeling. Every fluent speaker you admire was once in this same place. They also felt confused. They also felt unsure. The only difference is that at some point, they stopped running from the truth and started facing it. They began to notice their mistakes, understand their level, and slowly build their confidence from there. And today, you are doing the same thing. So stay with me. Do not leave halfway, because each part of this journey will reveal something new about your English. With every small step, you will understand yourself better, and by the end, you will not just feel like a learner anymore, you will feel like someone who knows where they stand and knows where they are going. This is your turning point. Not tomorrow, not next week, but today. Right now, in this moment, you are choosing clarity over confusion, awareness over guessing, and growth over fear. And that decision alone is more powerful than you think. Chapter 2. First test. Now we begin. This is the moment when you stop only watching and start discovering. Do not worry, because this first test is very simple, very gentle, and made especially for beginners. I do not want to scare you. I do not want to confuse you. I want to help you see how your English mind works when it meets easy, everyday language. That is why this first test is not full of difficult grammar, long sentences, or strange vocabulary. It is built from normal life, the kind of English you can hear in a home, in a classroom, in a shop, on the street, or in a simple conversation. And that is exactly why it matters so much, because if your foundation is strong, your future English will become strong too. So take a deep breath and relax your mind. You do not need to write anything down unless you want to. You do not need to panic if you do not know every answer. Just listen carefully, or if you are reading, read slowly and honestly. Answer inside your mind. Do not rush. This is not a race. It is not a competition. It is just a clear moment between you and your real level, and that moment is very valuable, because many learners spend years studying without ever slowing down enough to notice what they truly understand and what they only think they understand. Let us begin with something easy. I will give you a sentence, and I want you to notice what happens inside your mind when you hear it. Here is the first one. I drink tea every morning before work. Very simple, right? Now ask yourself, did you understand it immediately? Or did your brain stop for a second and translate each word into your first language? Did you feel the meaning quickly, like a picture in your mind? Or did you build the meaning word by word? Both answers are important. If you understood it easily, that is wonderful. If you needed a little time, that is also useful, because now you are seeing your process. Here is the second sentence. My sister is cooking dinner in the kitchen. Again, very normal English. Nothing difficult. But now I want you to answer a small question in your mind. Who is cooking dinner? If your answer came quickly, that is a strong sign that your understanding is active, not sleepy. If you felt confused for a moment, that is fine too, because confusion is not your enemy. Confusion is information. It is showing you where your attention becomes weak, and once you know that, you can improve it. Now let us try another one. They went to the market yesterday and bought some fruit. Here is your question. Did they go tomorrow or yesterday? This may look too easy, and that is exactly why it is powerful. Most people think this part is easy, but they make small mistakes that show a bigger problem. Sometimes learners understand many words, yet still miss the time, the action, or the real meaning. And when that happens in real conversation, they feel lost without knowing why. So do not laugh at simple tests. Simple tests reveal deep truth. Now I want you to notice something else. How are you feeling while doing this? Are you relaxed? Or are you already afraid of making mistakes? Are you enjoying this? Or are you putting pressure on yourself? Your feelings matter, because English is not only about words, it is also about your reaction. Many learners know more than they think, but fear makes them slow. Their mind becomes heavy, not because they are weak, but because they are tense. So if you feel nervous, do not judge yourself. Just notice it. Awareness is power. The moment you notice your reaction, you begin to take control of it. Let us continue. Read this sentence carefully. The boy is under the table because he is looking for his shoe. Now answer this. Where is the boy? Under the table or near the door? And why is he there? Again, this is everyday English. This is the kind of understanding that builds real confidence, because when you can catch meaning in easy sentences, you start building speed. And speed matters, not the speed of speaking like a machine, but the speed of understanding without fear. Here is another one. I cannot come with you today because I have a lot of homework. Now answer this in your mind. Why can this person not come? Because they are sick, or because they have homework. Very simple. But I want you to notice whether your answer came naturally or whether you had to think too hard. That small difference matters. It tells you whether your English is becoming alive inside you or still sleeping in memory. And let me encourage you here with all honesty. If you understand easily, that is great. You should feel proud, not arrogant, but quietly proud, because it means your foundation is growing. And if you feel confused, that is also great, because now you are aware. Before this moment, maybe you only had doubt. Now you have evidence. Before this moment, maybe you only felt lost. Now you can say, this is where I am strong, and this is where I need help. That is a beautiful thing, because real improvement starts when guessing ends. Many learners avoid testing because they are afraid the truth will hurt them. But the truth is kinder than confusion. Confusion keeps you stuck. Truth moves you forward. A simple, honest test can help you more than 10 hours of blind study. Why? Because once you see the real problem, your practice becomes sharper, smarter, and more focused. You stop wasting energy. You stop saying, "I do not know what is wrong with me." You begin saying, "Now I see what I need to improve." So let us pause for a second and reflect together. How did you feel in this first test? Were you fast or slow? Did you feel confident or did you feel confused? Did you understand the meaning directly or did you translate too much? There is no shame in any answer. This is not a moment for embarrassment. It is a moment for honesty. And honesty is powerful because it gives you a real place to begin. What we did in this chapter may look simple, but do not underestimate it. This first test is like opening the first door. It shows you whether your basic understanding is active and clear. It helps you see whether easy English feels natural or still feels heavy. And that matters more than many learners realize. Because if easy English becomes easy for real, then harder English becomes possible too. Now get ready, because the next level will go deeper. In the next chapter, we will move beyond simple understanding and look at something even more important. You will begin to see how English sentences work inside your mind, and that is where many hidden problems begin to appear. Stay with me, because step by step, you are not just taking a test, you are discovering the real shape of your English. Chapter 3: Sentence Power. Now we go one step deeper, and this is where many learners begin to discover something surprising about themselves. Until now, you have checked your understanding, and you have seen how your mind reacts to simple English. But understanding is only one side of the journey. The other side, the more important side, is how you build sentences, how you connect words, and how meaning comes out of your mouth in a real moment. This is where confidence is born. And this is also where many learners feel stuck without knowing why. So relax again and stay with me. This is not a difficult test, but it is a very honest one. I am going to give you simple sentences, and I want you to notice two things. First, can you understand them easily? Second, can you say something similar by yourself? Not perfectly, not beautifully, just clearly. Because speaking is not about showing big vocabulary. Speaking is about forming small, correct sentences that carry real meaning. Let us begin with something very simple. I am going to the market. Now think about this. What does this sentence tell you? It tells you who is going, where they are going, and what is happening now or soon. Very clear. Now I want you to change it in your mind. Can you say, I am going to school, or I am going to my friend's house? If you can do that, you are already building power. You are not memorizing, you are creating. Now look at this sentence. She is reading a book. Simple again, but now I want you to notice the small parts. She is the person, is reading, shows the action happening now. A book gives more information. This is how sentences are built. Small pieces, working together. Now try to change it. Can you say, he is watching TV, or they are eating dinner? These small changes may look easy, but they are the foundation of real speaking. And here is something important. Many learners understand sentences like this, but when they try to speak, they freeze. Why? Because they think they need something bigger, something more advanced, something more perfect. But that is not true. Real communication starts with simple, correct sentences. If you can say, I am tired, I need help, I like this, or I do not understand, you are already speaking. You are already using English in a real way. Let us go a little further. Listen to this sentence. I went to the market yesterday. Now compare it with the first one. I am going to the market. One talks about now or the future. The other talks about the past. Just one small change, but the meaning is completely different. This is the power of sentences. Small words and small changes can change time, meaning, and feeling. And when you notice this, your English becomes sharper. Now I want you to try something in your mind. Take the sentence, I eat breakfast at 8. Can you change it to the past? Maybe you say, I ate breakfast at 8. Can you change it to now? Maybe you say, I am eating breakfast. You do not need to know the name of the grammar. You do not need to remember rules like a textbook. You just need to feel the pattern. This is how real speakers grow. They feel the language, not just study it. Let us make it more real. Imagine someone asks you, what are you doing right now? Can you answer? Maybe you say, I am watching a video, or I am learning English, or I am sitting in my room. These are not big sentences, but they are powerful, because they are yours. They come from your life. And when English connects with your life, it becomes easier, faster, and more natural. Now here is something I want you to remember deeply. Speaking is not about big words. It is about clear sentences. Many learners try to impress others with difficult vocabulary, but they forget the most important thing: clarity. If your sentence is simple but correct, people will understand you. And understanding is the real goal. Not perfection, not complexity, but connection. This is also where many learners struggle. They wait. They think, I will speak when I know more words. But that moment never comes, because speaking does not start when you know everything. It starts when you use what you already know. If you can build small sentences, you can grow. If you wait for perfect sentences, you will stay silent. So let me say this to you very clearly, and I want you to feel it, not just hear it. If you can say small, correct sentences, you can speak. You do not need anything more to begin. Fluency does not start with big words. It starts with simple clarity. One sentence, then another, then another. That is how confidence grows. And do not worry if you make mistakes. Mistakes are not a sign of failure. They are a sign that you are trying, and trying is the only way forward. Every fluent speaker you see today made thousands of small mistakes before they became comfortable. The difference is not talent. The difference is practice with awareness. Now take a moment and reflect. How did you feel in this chapter? Did you feel more confident when you saw how simple sentences work? Or did you notice gaps in your ability to change or create sentences? Both are good answers. Confidence shows your strength. Gaps show your direction. This is your learning map. Every small thing you notice is helping you move forward. You are no longer guessing. You are observing. You are understanding. And that is powerful. Now stay with me, because in the next chapter, we will test something even more important. You will begin to see how well you understand English when you hear it, not just read it. And that will open a completely new level in your journey. Chapter 4, Listening Check. Now we move into one of the most powerful parts of your English journey, and I want you to pay very close attention, not with pressure, but with curiosity. This is listening. Many learners think speaking is the first step. So they try to speak again and again, but they forget something very important. Speaking grows from listening. If your ears are not trained, your mouth will always feel unsure. If your mind cannot catch meaning quickly, your words will come out slowly or not at all. So today, we are not just testing your listening, we are opening a door that can completely change your progress. Let us begin in a very simple way. Imagine you hear this sentence clearly, like someone is talking to you. I am going to meet my friend after work. Now pause and ask yourself, what did you understand? Who is going to meet someone? When will they meet? If your mind answered quickly, that is a strong sign that your listening is active. If your mind needed a few seconds, or if you tried to translate each word, that is also important, because now you are seeing your real process. Let us try another one. Imagine you hear this. She did not come to the party because she was feeling sick. Now answer this in your mind. Why did she not come? Was she busy, or was she sick? Notice your reaction. Did you catch the meaning directly, or did your brain slow down and search for each word? Listening is not only about hearing sounds, it is about catching meaning fast enough to stay inside the conversation. And this is where many learners feel lost without understanding why. Now listen to this idea. They are planning to travel next week, but they are not sure about the place. Here is your question. Are they traveling now or next week? And do they know where they will go? Again, very simple English. But simple does not mean easy for everyone. Some learners hear all the words, yet still miss the meaning. Others catch the idea quickly, even if they miss one or two words. And here is something very important to understand. Good listening does not mean you understand every single word. Good listening means you understand the message. This is where I want you to shift your thinking. Stop trying to catch every word like a collector. Start trying to catch meaning like a real listener. In real life, people speak fast. They do not stop and repeat every sentence slowly. If you depend on understanding every word, you will always feel pressure. But if you train your mind to focus on meaning, you will start to relax. And when you relax, your understanding grows naturally. Now let me give you another example. Imagine someone says, "I forgot my keys at home, so I have to go back." You may not focus on every word, but the meaning is clear. The person forgot something and needs to return. That is enough to understand the situation, and when you understand the situation, you are ready to respond. This is how real communication works. And here comes a truth that I want you to remember deeply. The biggest difference between a silent learner and a confident speaker is listening. Not grammar, not vocabulary, not even confidence at the beginning, but listening. Because when you understand what others are saying, your fear becomes smaller. You feel included, you feel part of the conversation, and slowly, your voice begins to come out. Now let me ask you something honestly. When you hear English in real life, in videos, or in conversations, do you feel lost after a few seconds? Do you understand the beginning, but then everything becomes unclear? If yes, do not feel bad. This is not failure, this is direction. It is showing you exactly where you need to grow, and that is powerful because now your practice can become focused. Instead of trying to speak more and more without understanding, you can start training your ears. You can listen to simple English every day. You can repeat short sentences. You can slowly build your ability to catch meaning, and with time, something beautiful will happen. Your mind will stop translating, your ears will start recognizing patterns, and English will begin to feel familiar, not foreign. Let us take one more small test. Imagine you hear we are watching a movie tonight. Do you want to join us? Now answer this. What are they doing tonight? And what are they asking you? Simple questions, but they show a lot. If you can catch this easily, your listening is growing. If not, that is okay, because now you know where to focus. I want you to see listening as a daily habit, not a difficult task. Even 5 or 10 minutes a day can change your brain slowly. You do not need to understand everything at once. You just need to stay consistent. Little by little, your mind will adapt. It will become faster, clearer, and more confident. Now imagine something with me. Imagine watching a movie and understanding most of the conversation without subtitles. Imagine listening to someone speaking English and not feeling lost. Imagine smiling, nodding, and responding naturally. That future is not far away. It begins here with simple listening, with honest awareness, with daily practice. So take a moment and reflect again. How did you feel in this listening check? Did you understand quickly, or did you feel slow? Did you focus on meaning, or did you try to catch every word? There is no wrong answer, there is only information. And this information is your guide. You are not just watching a video anymore, you are training your mind. You are building a skill that will support everything else. And step by step, you are moving from confusion to clarity, from silence to understanding, from fear to confidence. Stay with me, because the next step will bring everything closer to real life, where English becomes part of your daily world. Chapter 5: Real Life. Now everything changes, because this is the moment where English stops being something you study and starts becoming something you use. Until now, you have been testing your understanding, your sentences, and your listening. You have been observing your mind, noticing your reactions, and slowly discovering your level. But real confidence does not come from tests alone. It comes from real use. It comes from moments where English becomes part of your life, not just part of your study time. And that is exactly what we are going to do now. I want you to imagine something very simple. Imagine you meet someone for the first time, and they look at you and say, "Hi, can you tell me about yourself?" This is a real moment. This happens in interviews, in conversations, in new environments, and sometimes even in unexpected situations. Now I want you to pause and answer in your mind. What would you say? You do not need a perfect answer. You do not need long sentences, just something real. Maybe you say, My name is Ali. I am a student. I live in Islamabad. That is enough. That is speaking. That is using English for your life. Now let us take another situation. Imagine you are in a shop and you want to buy something. You see the item, but you need help. What do you say? Maybe you say, "Can you help me?" Or "How much is this?" Or "Do you have this in another color?" These are small sentences, but they are powerful because they solve real problems. And that is the purpose of language, not to impress people, not to show how much you know, but to connect, to ask, to understand, and to respond. Let us go a little further. Imagine someone asks you, "What did you do yesterday?" Now your mind needs to move. You need to think about the past, and you need to express it simply. Maybe you say, "I stayed at home. I watched a movie. I studied English." These are not big sentences, but they are alive. They carry your experience. They show your ability to communicate. And when you can do this, even in a small way, you are already using English as a tool. This is the truth that many learners miss. English is not a subject. It is not something you only open in a book or watch on a screen. It is a tool for life. It helps you introduce yourself, ask for help, share your thoughts, and understand others. And when you start seeing it this way, everything changes. You stop chasing perfection, and you start building usefulness. You stop asking, "Is my grammar perfect?" And you start asking, "Can I express what I want to say?" Now I want you to imagine another moment, and this one is important. One day, someone will ask you a question in English, and that moment will not wait. It will not slow down. It will not give you time to open a book or search for the perfect sentence. It will happen, and in that moment, you will either respond or stay silent. That is why your preparation starts now, not later, because real life does not wait for perfect learners. It rewards prepared learners. So let us practice again, but this time with more awareness. Imagine someone says, "What are you doing right now?" Answer in your mind. Maybe you say, "I am watching a video," or "I am learning English," or "I am sitting in my room." Keep it simple. Keep it real. Now imagine they ask, "What do you like to do in your free time?" Maybe you say, "I like watching movies," or "I like playing games," or "I like reading books." These answers are not complicated, but they are enough to start a conversation. And here is something I want you to feel, not just understand. You do not need perfect English to speak. You need active English. You need English that moves, that responds, that lives inside your daily thoughts. Even if your sentence is not perfect, if your meaning is clear, you are communicating, and communication is the real goal. Many learners wait for the perfect moment. They think, "I will speak when I am ready," but that moment keeps moving away, because readiness does not come from waiting. It comes from doing. Speaking is not a test where you prepare for one big day. It is a habit that grows every day. The more you try, the more natural it becomes. The more you use it, the less fear you feel. So I want to encourage you here, very honestly. Try. Even if your voice shakes, even if your sentence is not perfect, even if you make mistakes, because every attempt is a step forward. Every small sentence is a building block, and slowly, without even noticing, you will start feeling more comfortable, more confident, and more ready. Now take a moment and reflect again. Could you answer the questions in your mind? Did the sentences come easily? Or did you hesitate? Did you feel confident, or did you feel unsure? There is no wrong answer here. This is not about judging yourself. This is about understanding yourself. That awareness is your progress. The moment you see where you hesitate, you also see where you need to practice. The moment you notice your strength, you also see where you can build more confidence. And this is how real learning happens, not through guessing, not through fear, but through clear, honest awareness. You are not just learning English anymore, you are starting to live it, even in small moments, even in your mind. And that is powerful, because once English becomes part of your life, it stops feeling difficult. It starts feeling natural. And step by step, you move closer to a version of yourself that can speak, understand, and connect without fear. Stay with me, because the next chapter will reveal something even deeper. You will begin to see the hidden mistakes that hold many learners back, and once you see them, you will never be the same again. Chapter 6: Hidden Mistakes. Now we go even deeper, and this is the part that many learners never truly face. Up to this moment, you have seen your understanding, your sentence ability, your listening, and your real-life use. You have already discovered many things about your English, but there is still something hidden under the surface. These are the small mistakes that you repeat again and again without even noticing. They are quiet, they are common, and they are powerful enough to stop your progress for months or even years if you do not see them clearly. Let me tell you something honestly, and I want you to stay open while listening to this. Most learners do not struggle because English is too difficult. They struggle because they keep repeating the same patterns without correcting them. And because these mistakes feel normal, they become habits. And once something becomes a habit, it becomes invisible. You stop seeing it. You think you are improving, but you are actually moving in a circle. This is where most learners get stuck for years, not because they are bad, not because they are slow, but because they are unaware. They keep making the same small mistakes, and those small mistakes slowly build a wall between them and fluency. So today, we are not here to criticize. We are here to see clearly, because the moment you see your mistake, you begin to break it. Let us start with something very simple. Many learners say sentences like, "I am go to market," or "She go to school yesterday." You understand the meaning, and maybe others also understand you, but something is not right. There is a small missing piece. Maybe it is going, maybe it is went, but the sentence feels incomplete. This is not a big problem, but when it happens again and again, it slows your growth. And the important thing is, many learners do not even notice it anymore. Now let us look at another example. Some learners say, "I am agree," instead of "I agree." Or they say, "He do not like it," instead of "He does not like it." These are small changes, very small, but they carry meaning. And when you ignore them, your English becomes unclear, not completely wrong, but not strong either. Then there is another hidden mistake, and this one is very important. Translation in the mind. Many learners first think in their own language, then slowly try to change it into English. This creates a delay. Your mind becomes busy, your sentences become heavy, and your confidence becomes weak. You may know the words, but your thinking process is slow, and that makes speaking feel difficult. Let me show you what this looks like. Imagine you want to say, "I am tired." In your own language, maybe you think something like, "I feel tired." Then you try to convert it. Then you check if it is correct. And by the time you speak, the moment is gone. This is not because you are weak. This is because your brain is using an extra step. And that extra step creates hesitation. Another common mistake is hesitation itself. You start a sentence, then you stop, then you restart. You say, I go, I went, I go yesterday. This happens because your mind is not used to flowing. It is trying to be perfect instead of being clear. And when you chase perfection, you lose your natural rhythm. Now I want you to pause and think about yourself. When you speak, do you translate first? Do you hesitate? Do you repeat words? Do you feel unsure about small changes in sentences? Be honest, because this is not a moment for judgment. This is a moment for awareness, and awareness is the most powerful tool you have. Here is something beautiful that I want you to understand deeply. Once you see your mistake, you are already improving. You do not need to fix everything immediately. You do not need to become perfect in one day. You just need to notice. Because the moment you notice, your brain starts adjusting, slowly, naturally, without pressure. For example, If you realize that you always forget does or did, your mind will start paying attention to it. You will begin to hear it more clearly. You will begin to use it more often. Not because you forced yourself, but because you became aware. And this is the real path to fluency. Not heavy rules, not complicated grammar, but simple awareness again and again. You see, you adjust, you grow, you speak, you notice, you improve. It is a cycle, but this time it is a forward cycle, not a circle that keeps you stuck. I also want to tell you something very important about mistakes. There is no shame in them. Mistakes are not a sign that you are bad at English. They are a sign that you are using English, and that is something to respect because many people never even try. You are trying, you are learning, you are moving forward. So instead of feeling embarrassed, feel curious. Instead of hiding your mistakes, observe them. Ask yourself, why did I say this? What can I change next time? This simple mindset shift can change everything. It turns fear into growth. It turns confusion into clarity. Now take a moment and reflect again. What is one mistake you noticed in yourself today? Maybe it is translation. Maybe it is hesitation. Maybe it is a small grammar pattern. Whatever it is, hold it gently in your mind. Do not fight it. Just see it. Because from this moment, you are no longer an unaware learner. You are someone who can observe, understand, and improve. And that is a powerful identity. You are not stuck anymore. You are learning with direction. And as we move to the final chapter, everything will come together. You will not just see your mistakes. You will see your level, your progress, and your next step. And that is where your real journey begins. Chapter 7. Your level. Now we arrive at the moment where everything comes together, and I want you to pause for a second and feel what has already changed inside you. When you started this journey, you were not sure about your English. You had questions in your mind, maybe even doubts in your heart. You were thinking, am I good enough? Am I behind? Am I doing the right things? But now, after going through each step, something is different. You have seen your understanding. You have tested your sentences. You have checked your listening. You have imagined real-life situations. You have even discovered your hidden mistakes. And because of all this, you are not the same person who started watching. You are more aware, you are clearer, and that clarity is real growth. Now let us talk about your level, but not in a way that makes you feel small or judged. We are not using labels like beginner, intermediate, or advanced in a strict way. Instead, we are looking at your ability, your feeling, and your connection with English. Because your level is not just about what you know, it is about what you can do. Maybe you are someone who understands simple sentences easily, but when you try to speak, you hesitate. You know the words, but your sentences do not come out smoothly. If this feels like you, then you are not weak. You are growing. You are at a stage where your mind is learning, but your speaking habit is still building. And that is a beautiful place to be because you already have the foundation. You just need to use it more. Maybe you are someone who can speak small sentences, but you make mistakes again and again. You say things like, I go yesterday, or she do not like it, and you feel unsure. If this feels like you, then you are not stuck. You are becoming aware. You are at a stage where your English is active, but it needs small corrections. And once you notice these patterns, your improvement will become faster. Maybe you are someone who understands a lot when you listen, but when people speak fast, you feel lost. You catch some words, but not the full meaning. If this feels like you, then you are not behind. You are developing your listening. You are at a stage where your ears are learning, and with daily practice, your understanding will become clearer and stronger. Or maybe you are someone who can understand, speak a little, and follow simple conversations. You are not perfect, but you are not silent anymore. If this feels like you, then you are already moving forward in a powerful way. You are building real communication, and that is the goal. Do you see what is happening here? No matter where you are not failing. You are progressing. You are on a path, and every stage has value. Every stage is necessary because fluency is not one big jump. It is a series of small steps, repeated again and again. Now I want to create a picture in your mind, and I want you to really see it. Imagine yourself a few weeks from now. You wake up, and English is already in your thoughts. You understand more when you listen. You respond faster when someone speaks to you. You build sentences with less effort. You still make mistakes, but you do not stop because of them. You continue. You grow. You feel more comfortable, more natural, more confident. Then imagine a little further. You are watching a video, and you understand most of it without subtitles. You are having a small conversation, and you are not afraid. You are expressing your ideas, not perfectly, but clearly. And when you look back, you realize something important. You did not become fluent in one day. You became fluent step by step, through daily action, through small efforts, through consistent practice. And this is where the real emotional shift happens. At the beginning, you were looking for answers. Now you have direction. At the beginning, you were unsure. Now you are aware. And awareness is more powerful than you think because it gives you control over your learning. So let me tell you something that I want you to remember long after this video ends. The only difference between you and a fluent speaker is that they kept going, and now it is your turn. They were not special. They were not perfect. They simply continued when it felt difficult. They practiced when it felt slow. They stayed patient when results were not immediate. And now you are standing at the same point where they once stood. You have seen your level. You have understood your strengths. You have noticed your gaps. And that means you are ready. Not ready in a perfect way, but ready in a real way. So do not wait for tomorrow. Do not wait for the perfect plan. Take one small step today. Speak one sentence. Listen to one short audio. Notice one mistake. That is enough. Because small steps, repeated daily, create big change over time. You are not just learning English anymore. You are building a new version of yourself. A version that understands, that speaks, that connects. And this journey does not end here. This is just the beginning. Now take a breath. Feel proud of what you have done today. And remember this moment, because today, you did not just watch a video. You faced the truth, you discovered your level, and you took the first real step toward fluency. If this test opened your eyes, do not stop here. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and write one simple sentence in the comments that you can say in English right now. Keep it real, keep it simple, and keep going. Your fluency is not far away. It is built step by step, and today, you have already started.